everyone, this is FeelGood of FeelGood Gunpla, back with another Gunpla review. This time is of the SD Gundam Age 3 from the BB series. Now, ever since I got the Age 3 Gundam, the SD Age 3 Gundam, I've been wanting to get the Age 1 and Age 2. It literally actually took me a couple of years till I was able to get hold of one. Well, both of them. And now, finally, I have this one plus the Age 2. And it doesn't disappoint. Now, let's get into the positive of this kit. This kit has pretty good color separation, part separation. And when it lacks in color and part separation, the stickers take care of the rest. Not bad detailing. The panel line opportunity is there and is nice. As for posing, for an SD, you get your typical posing. You basically get your main pose, or I like to call the money shot pose, the pose that you absolutely probably have to pull off in order for the kit to, guess you can say in a way, get a good grade. Now, it's also pretty enemy accurate when it comes with the gimmick of the different forms. I think it's called wear gear, I think it is. Now, speaking of the forms, the form that is before you right now is the normal form. Basically, it's base form. And it looks pretty good, and in my opinion, it looks like another version, or their version of the RX-78-2. You have the shield and the beam rifle, which that's all it comes equipped with. The beam saber you get with it. I'm gonna be honest, with every beam saber, every beam saber that these SD kits have, I end up not using them because in order to get the best out of them, you have to paint them. But for what it is, it actually looks pretty good. I mean, posability is very good in this kit. And I definitely like it. Now, the four stickers on top are actually not bad. And they add a little something to the kit. Now, speaking, like I said before, about the different forms, let's get into some of the other forms. Here we have the next form, the Titus. Now, the Titus form, anime accurate enough, you know. They didn't get this form fully anime accurate, but they got it mostly anime accurate. There could have been some stickers for its arms to make it look, just to get it just right. But with SDs, that's just how things are. Now, the detailing in the shoulders and in the legs is nice. And there's just a noticeable size difference between this form and the other two, being the normal and the Spallow. And one thing that does come with it, with this form, that I was actually surprised but yet glad they did include this, was the effect parts for it. You got the wrist effect parts. I forgot what it's called, but basically it's basically a effect part that goes around its arm, and then it also has an effect part that goes in the shoulder for that shoulder charge. So I'm glad they put that in. They didn't really have to, but it's just one of those things to where I'm glad they did, because it helped the kit stand out. As just like the normal, the part separation, the color separation, panel opportunity, it's there and it's pretty good. And definitely one of the forms that, where you get that noticeable size difference. It definitely looks like a brawler, just big, robust form that looks pretty good. And I'm just glad, like I said before, I'm glad they include those effect parts, because it does help with posing. And just like normal, it can pose pretty well. Get the main poses out. Now on to the final form. And here we have the final form, Age Spallow. Now, this is actually a nice looking form. It looks like a speed form slash, in my opinion, ninja-like form. The sword is okay in the back. It's actually a nice looking form, and it does look like a speedy unit. The shoulders are a little bit big for me for this form, but you know, they got thrusters in it and all that. To me, between the three forms, the Spallow is how can I put it? It's the most sticker heavy of the three forms. Because as you can see, the white parts in the shoulders, arms, and legs and feet are all stickers. Plus, the green effect part that's on its blade is a sticker. Now, personally, I feel like with this form, they used the wrong stickers, or they should maybe just gave you a clear part. I don't know, but I think they could have did a little better with this form. But you know, it is what it is when it comes to SDs. You're gonna have that lack of color separation. You're not gonna have that spot on anime accuracy. Also, in the arms don't have that moving joint, like that elbow joint, like the rest of the two forms have. But despite this, it does get the job done when it comes to those poses. So it's pretty good. Just like the other two, the Titus and the normal, part, color, and panel line opportunity is there, and it's pretty good. Now, here is one of the bonus gimmicks, I guess one could say, when it comes to this. And honestly, this one is a plus and a negative at the same time, if you ask me. This I like to call a drone that's holding the other armor parts is called the Amenbo. In case you was wondering what, that's actually abbreviated. That Amenbo is abbreviated. It stands for Age Mechanic Equipment Moving Boat. Amenbo. Anyway, basically it's the drone unit that holds the different armors when the Age 1 Gundam needs it. Now, me personally, the way that you get it, it's just not very impressive to me. But then again, parts like this, when it comes to SD kits, they're not going to give the treatment that the other parts of the kit will get. Usually, I think it holds like one wear gear at a time. But its bonus function is that it can hold two wear gears at a time. Basically, two armors, if you want to look at it that way, at a time. That's its bonus gimmick. Like I say, you know, that's a little extra for you, so that is good. But honestly, I'm gonna mention this also in the negatives. Not a fan, but there it is. Now, to the negatives of this kit. One would be the Age Spallow form was a little too sticker heavy to me. You know, if it didn't have any of those white stickers on the arms and legs, then it's just been one blue solid piece. But hey, what can you do? It's an SD kit. It is what it is. Now, the Amenbo bonus gimmick was not the best gimmick to me. I felt like they could have either did better or just left it out completely. But that's the only two negatives that I can really think of the kit. A Spallow form is sticker heavy, and the Amenbo, well, the Amenbo's not a form, but the Amenbo gimmick, I'm just not a fan of. To conclude, one of the best SD kits I've built to date. Yes, I know the cross silhouettes in some people mine would be the top tier of SD kits, but for a kit that has stand the test of time, Definitely, I would say all the SD Age kits are pretty good. This kit has pretty good detailing, part separation, color separation is pretty good. The posing is good. Like I said earlier, you can get all the main poses, or as I like to call them, the money shot poses. The anime actually with its different forms. The normal, as you see here, Titus, Spallow. You can change it into these different forms actually quite easily. Yeah, of course, a Spallow form is a little sticker heavy. The Amenbo gimmick is really not that impressive. Yeah, is what it is on negatives. Again, I'm gonna say this is one of the best kits, SD kits to date. I mean, it's one of those kits that I'm glad I bought it. I definitely recommend this kit if you're a fan of the Gundam Age 1